Costing of transport services. This is part of Service Costing, Chapter 12 of CA Intermediate. Transport services are broadly divided into two categories. One is goods transport and another one is passenger transport. The costing is calculated on the basis of ton kilometer in case of goods transport and passenger kilometer in case of passenger transport. Ton kilometer means it is transporting 1 ton of goods over a distance of 1 kilometer. And similarly, in case of passenger transport, it is cost of transporting one passenger over a distance of 1 kilometer. So we have to calculate these per ton kilometer cost and per passenger kilometer cost so that we can do the pricing for respective services. So whatever costs of operation, either it may be goods transport or it may be passenger transport, may be divided under three heads of cost, that is standing charges or fixed cost, variable cost or running cost, and semi-variable cost or maintenance cost. What is the necessity of dividing all costs into these three categories is for our easy and accurate calculation of the cost, because standing charges or fixed cost remains constant for any level of operations, which you have learned in basic costing. And in case of variable cost, every change in the level of operation, there will be change in the variable cost. And in case of semi-variable costs, there will be certain costs which are fixed up to certain level of operations. After that, its nature becomes variable in nature. So, in order to have correct calculation of per ton kilometer cost or per passenger kilometer cost, it is advisable, suggested to divide the cost under these heads, so that when there is a need to calculate cost at two levels of operations, then the dividing factor can be, total cost can be properly arrived at, and accordingly we can calculate the per ton kilometer cost or per passenger kilometer cost. In this example, I am taking passenger transportation cost to explain you how the service costing of transportation of passengers happens, so that it gives you clear understanding of the concept. Now let us move to the example. SMC is a public school having 5 buses each plying in different directions for the transport of its school students. In view of the large number of students availing of the bus service, the buses work 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and in the afternoon. So you have to read very carefully each and every line, otherwise your calculations will go wrong. See, they are saying 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and in the afternoon. That means morning 2 shifts and afternoon 2 shifts. The buses run in 2 shifts. Daily, one in the morning, buses work 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and in the afternoon. Morning 2 shifts, afternoon 2 shifts. The buses are garaged in the school, so there is no garage cost. They are parked in the school itself. So that is one more point. The workload of the students has been so arranged that in the morning the first trip picks up senior students and the second trip plying an hour later picks up the junior students. So morning 2 trips, they pick 1 trip seniors and 1 trip juniors. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip takes the junior students and an hour later the second trip takes the senior students home. So in case of while dropping the students, first juniors will be dropped and next after an hour later An hour later, senior students are being dropped. So in this para, there are two important points. One is two shifts daily in the morning and in the afternoon, and there first trip takes, senior students, and second trip takes junior students, and in the afternoon first trip drops junior students and second trip drops senior students. The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers. So by this statement we understand the buses operate only to the maximum of 8 kilometers. The school works 25 days in a month and remains closed for vacation in May, June and December. Okay, so ideally the buses run for 9 months. Bus fee, however, is payable by the students for all 12 months in a year. So why they are saying this is the costs which are variable in nature are to be calculated only for 9 months, because other 3 months they are not being operated. That is the reason we have to divide the cost in 3 heads so that we can properly calculate what is the cost. You understand? So bus fee however is payable, but students pay for all the 12 months. That is, per month whatever is charges are being decided, they pay for 12 months, but the costs, variable costs especially, are incurred for 9 months only. But fixed cost, whether you operate for 9 months or 12 months, it is fixed. And similarly semi-variable, to some extent it is fixed and to some extent it is variable. So we have to identify in the cost which is fixed and which is variable. Okay. Now coming to cost details which are given. The details of expenses for a year are as under. Driver's salary, it is always fixed, 4,500 per month per driver. So here per driver they are paying per month 4,500. Cleaners salary payable for all 12 months. So they are saying for drivers and cleaners all 12 months salary is to be paid. So this is fixed for 12 months, 3,500 per month. Okay, cleaner salary. And they have further given information, one cleaner employed for all the 5 buses. So driver 5 buses, there are 5 buses and each there are 5 buses and each driver is paid 4,500, but there is only one cleaner for all the 5 buses, that you have to note. And next, license fee taxes, this is again fixed in nature, 8,600 per bus per annum. And insurance, again it is fixed in nature, there is no change irrespective of the number of months you operate, number of students you carry, it is same, 10,000 rupees per bus per annum. Repairs and maintenance, 35,000 per bus per annum. This is also, as per the information is given, it is almost fixed in nature. Purchase price of the bus, 15 lakhs each. Life of each bus, 12 years. Scrap value of buses at the end of the life is 3 lakhs. So this is again fixed in nature. Life of the bus is 12 years, and whatever after scrap value, the whatever cost is, that is 12 lakhs. 15 minus 3, 12 lakhs is the total depreciation for 12 years. So this is again fixed in nature. Diesel cost, it is purely variable in nature, that we have to keep in mind. 45 rupees per liter. Each bus gives an average mileage of 4 km per liter of diesel. So they have given the mileage also, so that to calculate how many what will be the diesel cost. This is purely variable in nature. Seating capacity of each bus is given 50 students. The seating capacity is fully occupied during the whole year. This is very important. The reason being, the cost depends on the seating capacity occupancy. If it is not fully occupied, then the cost per student per kilometer will increase. If seating capacity is fully occupied, it will reduce. So we have to see what is the occupancy level for each bus. So here they have given fully occupied. So they have given 50 students is the seating capacity, and it is always fully occupied for a whole year. Whole year means here only 9 months, because next balance 3 months it is not being run due to holidays. Okay. Now coming to next point, students picked up and dropped within a range of 4 km of distance from the school are charged off fare, and 50% of the students traveling in each trip are in this category. Ignore interest. Since the charges are to be based on average cost, you are required to. So what they are saying is total distance traveled by each bus is 8 kilometers, and students picked up and dropped within a range of 4 kilometers. Say somebody will be picked up at 1 kilometer, somebody will be 2 kilometer, somebody will be at 3 kilometer, whatever it is. Up to 4 kilometers the charges are 50%, and above 4 kilometers the charges are full. Whether it is 5, 6, 7, 8, it won't make difference. They say as per the school policy, up to 4 kilometers they are charged 50%, and above 4 kilometers they are charged full rate. So now they are specifically mentioned, ignore interest cost. Anyway, interest rate is not given here for the investment, so anyway we would not have calculated, and they have specifically mentioned to ignore interest cost. So it is, we need not calculate any cost of investment, interest cost on investment. Since the charges are to be based on average cost, you are required to prepare a statement showing the expenses of operating a single bus and the fleet of 5 buses for a year. See, here in first paragraph I mentioned there are two important points. One is 5 buses and one is number of trips that you have to note down. We should not skip, we should be very careful in reading the question, because each and every line gives you some information which will be helpful in calculating the cost. So you have to read twice the problem to understand. Otherwise, even a single mistake will take you all the calculations in a wrong way. And they are asking us to calculate cost of operating 5 buses and per year, and single bus also. Single bus, what is the cost per year, and 5 buses, what is the cost per year. And second question is, work out the average cost per student per month in respect of students coming from a distance of 4 kilometers from the school and students coming from a distance of beyond 4 kilometers. That means here they said up to 4 kilometers the pricing is 1, above 4 kilometers, I mean from 4 plus to 8 kilometers the pricing is 1. So what will be the cost of transport for each student traveling within 4 kilometers and above 4 kilometers? This is the question. Hope you understand, and I will proceed towards next calculation, how to do the calculation of various costs to arrive at the total cost of operating single bus and 5 buses. In every problem we have to calculate two things. One is number of kilometers travel and what will be the passenger kilometers. Because this is an example of passenger transportation service, we are saying passenger kilometers. If it is a goods, then ton kilometers we have to calculate. Let us calculate number of kilometers traveled by each bus in an year. Then we will come to passenger kilometers. So now, as explained in the example, senior students are picked up first in the morning and dropped later in the afternoon. So the bus travels 8 kilometers each time to pick up from school to the residence of the students and comes back to the school and drops back to the residence of the students. So similarly junior students also. So once the school bus goes from school to the distance of 8 kilometers for senior students in the morning, and once it goes for the junior students, and again similarly it drops from school to the distance of 8 kilometers in the afternoon for junior students, and an hour later it drops senior students to the distance of 8 kilometers. So total number of times the bus travels 8 kilometers in a day or 8 numbers. Now coming to total number of days the school operates in a month is 25. This is also given, and distance as said earlier it is 8 kilometers. Here the seating capacity is very much important for the purpose of calculating passenger kilometers. Right now we are calculating total distance of travel, not the passenger. So let us park this 100% capacity. So 8 trips it travels in a day and distance is 8 kilometers and per month 25 days and it travels only 9 months, reason being 3 months or vacations. So total 14,400 kilometers per annum it travels. Why this number of kilometers is required? Because to calculate the variable cost. In the given example, cost of diesel is purely variable, and this is the reason we have to calculate number of kilometers traveled. This is always required. Distance, total number of distance traveled is always required in order to calculate various variable costs or semi-variable costs. So here to calculate cost of diesel, they have given mileage of running per liter. So they said every liter travels 4 kilometers. What is the total number of kilometers per annum? It is 14,400 kilometers. So how many liters are required to travel 14,400 kilometers? Is 14,400 divided by 4 kilometers of mileage into cost per liter is 45. It comes to 1,62,000 rupees per bus per annum. It is per bus per annum because the distance 14,400 kilometers is per annum because we have multiplied with 9 months here. So the cost of diesel per annum per each bus is 162. I have not multiplied here with 5 buses anywhere. That is the reason it is distance traveled by each bus per annum is 14,400. Why per annum I am calling? Because I multiplied with number of months the bus is being operated. So it is for per annum. If I don't multiply with 9 months, then it becomes per month. But I have multiplied with 9 months, so it is 14,400. Now coming to this seating capacity. For the purpose of calculating the distance of travel, the seating capacity is not required. But for the purpose of passenger kilometers, the seating capacity is required. So what is the passenger kilometers? So passenger kilometers, they said 100% occupancy, it is given in the problem, but 50% capacity people of the capacity travels 4 kilometers and 50% of the bus capacity travels 8 kilometers. So we have to equalize both, otherwise it will be difficult for us to calculate the per passenger kilometer. Here 4 kilometers 50%, that means total capacity of the bus is 50 students. So 50% capacity, 25 students travels 4 kilometers and 25 student travels 8 kilometers. They have said 100% occupancy. If they say any other percentage, then we have to multiply that percentage with this particular capacity. Otherwise, we will not be able to arrive at proper costing. You understand? So this occupancy capacity is very important. Whatever the school bus capacity, if it is 50 and it is operated with 100% capacity, then we directly take 4 kilometers 25 students and 8 kilometers 25 students. If they say the bus is being operated at 75% occupancy, then we have to multiply with 75% and then arrive at passenger kilometers. But here it is 100% capacity it is being operated. So total bus capacity is 50 students. So 25 people travels for 4 kilometers. This is also given in the problem, and 25 students travels 8 kilometers. So if I equalize both in order to equalize, because then only we can have common dividing factor to calculate per passenger kilometer. That is more important. In every problem, we have to calculate distance traveled and passenger kilometers or ton kilometers. It will be common factor for to arrive at the, it should be common factor. Then only, depending upon the distance traveled, if we multiply with the cost, then the respective price can be identified. So here, with 50 students capacity of the bus at an occupancy of 100%, the 25 students travel 4 kilometers. It is told in the problem that 50% capacity travels 4 kilometers and 50%. So from 50 seating capacity, 25 students travel 4 kilometers and 25 students travel 8 kilometers. If I have to equalize both, it will be total 3 times. It will be like 3 times. So 4 plus 8, 12. It will be 1/3 and 2/3. So it will be like 3 times. So if I equalize, total 75 students for 4 kilometers in the morning and total 75 students for 4 kilometers in the afternoon. So if I equalize both, instead of 100 people traveling 50 up to 4 kilometers and 50 up to 8 kilometers, I can say 75 students travel for 4 kilometers and in the morning, and 75 students travel 4 kilometers in the afternoon. Okay, this is very important. Please understand very carefully. So this is the equalizing the passenger kilometers, because the distance traveled by passengers are at two different two different distances. So that is the reason we have to equalize, so that we can arrive at a single cost per passenger per kilometer. Then we can multiply with the distance traveled for each distance, various distance, so that we will arrive at the total cost. Now coming to cost of operation of the bus. Here now I am taking total cost for 5 buses, because they have asked us to calculate single bus and 5 buses. You can calculate single bus and multiply with 5, or you can calculate directly 5 buses and divide by 5, so that you will arrive at a single bus. So driver salary 4,500 per month. They have very clearly mentioned that drivers will be paid all the 12 months salary into each bus have got each one driver. So into 5, it is 2,70,000 per annum. Cleaner salary, they said for all the 5 buses there is only one cleaner, and it is 3,500 per month his salary, and 12 months it is 42,000. He is also paid, cleaner is also paid salary for all the 12 months. License fee fixed for each bus 8,600 per month per annum into 5 buses 43,000. Insurance 10,000 per each bus per annum, and it is 5 buses, so 50,000. Repairs and maintenance 35,000 per bus per annum into 5 buses 1,75,000. Depreciation 15 lakhs is the total cost of the bus. 3 lakhs is the scrap value, which I will get it after 12 years. So my actual cost will be 15 lakhs minus 3 lakhs. It will be 12 lakhs. And life of the bus is 12 years. So per each year, each bus, the depreciation will be 1 lakh, and it is for 5 buses. So it is 5 lakh rupees. Diesel, we have calculated here 1,62,000 per bus per annum, because 14,400 kilometers is the distance traveled by each bus per annum. So 1,62,000 per bus per annum into 5 buses, it is 8,10,000 rupees. So total cost for all the 5 buses per annum will be 18,90,000 rupees. This is the answer for the first part of first question. Hope you understand. I will proceed further. Here I am explaining you the next part of first question, that is we have calculated total cost for operating 5 buses per annum is 18,90,000 rupees. They have asked what is the cost of single bus. So total cost for single bus will be 18,90,000 divided by 5. It will be 3,78,000 rupees. So this is part 1 of question 1 and part 2 of question 1. Now coming to second question, that is what will be the cost of per student who is traveling 4 kilometers and student traveling 8 kilometers. See, if you see in the example, they have told irrespective of the distance 0 to 4 one price and 4 to 8, 4 plus to 8, it is another rate. So that is the reason we have calculated what is the equalizing students traveled for 4 kilometers and we have divided accordingly. So I have explained this, how these 75 students have come. See, for first 50% capacity travels 4 kilometers and 50% capacity travels 8 kilometers. What is the 50% capacity of 50 students bus is 25 and another 25 students travels 8 kilometers. So if I say 4 kilometers are traveled by 75 students, it will be correct? Yeah. So 4 kilometers is being traveled by 75 students in the morning and 75 students in the afternoon. So this is the very important aspect of this problem, okay, of this example. So you have to be very careful here. So we have arrived total cost per bus per month, which is 3,78,000 divided by 12 is 31,500. So per student per month per 4 kilometers, that is 31,500 divided by 150 is 210 rupees. So because why we are saying 4 kilometers, because I have equalized all the students traveling 4 kilometers and traveling 8 kilometers to a single number, single factor. That is the reason I am saying 4 kilometers. So whoever student traveling 4 kilometers will pay 210 rupees and student traveling 8 kilometers will pay 210 into 2, that is because they are traveling 8 kilometers. So 200 into 10 per 4 kilometers and 8 kilometers into 2, it will be 420 rupees per student who is traveling for 8 kilometers distance. 8 kilometers means 4 plus to 8 this price and 0 to 4 this price. Hope you understand. If you have any queries, drop a message. I will revert to you. Okay. Thank you.